forced to marry my father's best friend. When Adaobi turned 19, she expected her life to be filled with dreams of university and freedom. Instead, her father called her into the sitting room one humid evening with a stern face. The air was tense and Ada's heart thudded in her chest. "Adaobi," her father began, his voice heavy with finality. "You will be marrying Chief Okonkwo in 2 weeks." Her world froze. Chief Okonkwo, her father's best friend. A man old enough to be her grandfather. Adaobi's eyes widened in disbelief. "Papa, you can't be serious." "I'm still a child in his eyes," she cried, her voice trembling. But her father's gaze was unyielding, as though the decision had already been written in stone. Her mother sat quietly, tears streaming down her face, powerless against her husband's will. The room felt suffocating. Ada realized her dreams of love, education, and freedom had been traded for family pride and wealth. A week later, Chief Okonkwo came to their home. He arrived in a convoy of flashy cars, stepping out in a flowing white agbada with heavy gold chains around his neck. Everyone bowed except Adaobi, who stood frozen in disgust. Chief Okonkwo's eyes lingered on her with unsettling satisfaction. "She will make a fine wife," he said, his deep voice echoing through the compound. Adaobi's skin crawled at his words, and anger bubbled inside her chest. That night, Adaobi lay awake, staring at the cracked ceiling. The thought of living as Chief Okonkwo's wife filled her with dread. In the shadows of her room, she made a silent vow: "I will never give myself to him, even if I am forced." But she also knew rebellion came with consequences. Defying her father meant risking not only her safety, but also her family's name. Still, the fire of resistance burned brighter than her fear. Days before the wedding, Adaobi met Chike, a young man who worked in her father's shop. He was kind, with eyes that held both strength and warmth. Their conversations were brief, stolen moments, but each word lit sparks in her heart. One afternoon, as she laughed at something he said, her father walked in. The laughter died instantly, replaced by silence. The warning glare in her father's eyes reminded her of the walls closing in around her. On the eve of her wedding, Ada sat alone under the moonlight, her thoughts heavy with fear and longing. The compound was alive with preparations, music, and chatter, but her heart felt like a prisoner's cell. Chike appeared quietly, his face pale with desperation. "Ada, run away with me tonight," he whispered. The weight of his words was both liberating and terrifying. Could she abandon her family and choose love over duty? As midnight struck, Adaobi gathered courage. She slipped out in her wrapper and sandals, her heart pounding with every step. Chike waited by the old mango tree at the edge of the village, holding a small bag. They ran into the night, guided by hope and fear. Behind them, the drums of celebration echoed, unaware that the bride had vanished. For the first time in weeks, Ada felt her heart beating for herself. By morning, news had spread. Adaobi had run away. Chief Okonkwo raged, her father cursed, and her mother wept. But far away, in a small neighboring town, Ada and Chike sat together, watching the sunrise. The future was uncertain. Poverty, danger, and the wrath of her family loomed over them. Yet, as Chike held her hand, Adaobi smiled. For the first time, she had chosen her own destiny. Love, fragile but real, was finally hers.